The Eyes of Tammy Faye is based on the documentary of the exact same name and tells the story of televangelists Jim Bakker and, of course, Tammy Faye. I was lucky enough to see this film early, and I'm going to give you my thoughts right now. Hey everybody, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic. Thank you guys so much for clicking on this video. I'm sending you all positive vibes your way. But if it's your first time here, then welcome, of course. If you want to see more videos just like this, early movie reviews, movie reaction videos, and hangout live streams, then this is the place for you. Hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget about that notification bell so you never miss a single video. And don't forget about my partners either at Movie Scene Canada. Their link will be in the video description box below. But today, I'm going to give you my honest, no BS review for The Eyes of Tammy Faye and tell you if it's worth a watch. So, we have The Eyes of Tammy Faye, directed by Michael Showalter, and you know him from The Big Sick and The Lovebirds. And it stars Jessica Chastain, Andrew Garfield, and Vincent D'Onofrio, and it tells the story, of course, of Jim Bakker and Tammy Faye, how they met, how they became this evangelical empire, and of course, its rather well-documented downfall. But is this movie worth a watch? I'm gonna say that you can skip this one, but if you do decide to watch it, you're gonna get two really fantastic performances, especially from Jessica Chastain. She could win. She could honestly win Best Actress for this one. Now, I don't know what the early Oscar buzz is. I don't know what the nominations are, but she's really, really good in this movie. Jessica Chastain, quite frankly, disappears into this role, especially with all that makeup, right? And that voice, you know, maybe it's the Canadian in me, but I just love the Minnesota accent. It's pretty similar, right? But it's just so cute and it's just so endearing, and she plays a really sympathetic character. And, you know, like I, Tonya with Tonya Harding, you know, she's playing a character who is really a joke in American culture, but the movie does a really good job at making you really care for her. I really cared about this character, and I think it was because, you know, early on she's like, oh, you know, Jim, I have no secrets, you know, ask away. I will tell you anything, and you know what? What you see is what you get, you know? She doesn't really care about what people think of her, you know, to a certain extent, of course, but she is just completely herself all the time, and I really like that about people. You know, if they are not trying to be fake, if they're not being manipulative, if they're just really their 100% genuine self, you know, it's really endearing, and I really care about characters like that. And it really sucks because throughout the entire movie, when all the scandals going on and when they're talking about even just the rise of their show, everyone's talking to Jim. She's just kind of the side character in the entire movie, and it really shows, you know, through her eyes, how she's always just pushed to the sidelines, and it's really hurtful to see. You know, you really care about this character, even though she did have somewhat of a part to play in all the scandals. But the main quality that she has that I love is that she loves everyone, right? You know, she brings on a gay man on her show that has AIDS. And of course, you know, behind the scenes, you have all the producers going like, what is this gay nonsense, this woke agenda, right? Of course, woke wasn't really a word back then, but this liberal gay cancer, as they like to call it. But, you know, she doesn't care about that. She doesn't care about the politics or any of the red tape involved. She wants to spread the word of Jesus and God and, you know, spread the word of love, no matter who it is, right? No matter if they're gay, no matter if they're a foreigner or whatever color of their skin, whatever that might be, you know, she just wants people to be accepted and to be loved no matter who they are. And that's a very honest quality to have, and that's why I really enjoyed her character. Now, Andrew Garfield is also great in the movie, and I'm realizing now that he really likes to play, you know, certain characters around religion. You know, you have Hacksaw Ridge, you have Silence, and you have this, and he is really great in this movie also, and you really hate him. And they pull some pretty cheap tactics, right? Like, I understand some of the really simple screenwriting tricks to make you really hate the character, but you know what? They're simple yet effective. And what I like about his character is that he genuinely thinks that he's right. He genuinely thinks that he deserves all of these things, and he doesn't think that he's doing anything wrong. The world has done wrong to him. He deserves these things, and you can really see the conviction in his performance. So Andrew Garfield and Jessica Chastain together, great chemistry, great performances. They saved this movie. And it sucks to say because when I saw the trailer for this movie, I was genuinely excited. I'm like, that looks like a really fun time. You know, when you have Jessica Chastain going,
hello, Mother, this is Jim Bakker, my husband.
Mother, this is Jim Bakker, my husband. I'm like, okay, this movie is going to be like Fargo, maybe just because of the accents, but it sounded like that same sort of comedy. I didn't laugh once in this movie, other than that line, but I'd seen it in the trailer already. this movie just kind of left me empty. And it's kind of one of those movies where it's like the whole is less than the sum of its parts, right? You know, the performances are amazing, right? It's a well-directed movie. It's a well-paced movie for the most part, right? Like, I felt like this movie could have been an hour and a half and it still would have had the same impact, or even a better impact if you just got rid of some of the more dragging moments. But overall, the pacing is still pretty good. The period piece elements, right? Like the costumes and the makeup and the hair and the, you know, production design, you know, it looks really great. But again, I've seen so many period pieces of this time that it kind of falls to the wayside because it doesn't do anything really special. Of course, there's great performances, but it just left me kind of feeling empty because the parts of the movie that I really enjoyed, I felt like they didn't really focus on them enough. And my favorite parts of this movie is obviously when Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield are on screen because their performances were just spectacular. But when they tackled the American culture and, you know, some of the rough patches of it, especially with televangelists and, you know, the corruption there, because of course they're spreading the word of God and how we should be loving and helping other people, but of course they're using it for corrupt tactics. They're using it to take money for themselves and build like a Christian water park, right? They're not really helping people in need. They're really using it for their own greed, which of course is very anti-Christian, right? Again, I'm not the biggest Christian guy in the world, but I know the basics. Again, I've been baptized Catholic. I went to church a couple times as a kid. I know that greed is a bad thing in the Bible, and how religion and politics are so intertwined with one another in America, right? You know, you have Ronald Reagan saying, you know, oh, well, people watch our, I'm not going to do the impression, but, you know, he says he knows how many Republicans watch Tammy Faye and Jim Bakker's show. So, of course, he wants to, you know, curry favor with them. And, you know, there's a lot of the higher ups that are using this as a way to get votes to get, you know, Republicans into the White House, which I don't think, like Tammy Faye even said, it's like, there shouldn't be politics in, you know, spreading the word of God. You know, everyone should be loved. But of course, there's a lot of political red tape involved with everything. But I don't feel like the movie really tackled those subjects enough. And maybe that's just because that's what I find the most interesting about these subjects, but I've seen these subjects tackled better in other movies, tackled with more conviction and more depth, and really the whole scandal is kind of washed over for Jessica Chastain's character, who, you know, it just seems like a tragedy because she's really just trying to spread the word of God and she's trying to, you know, be herself, but of course all these bad things keep happening to her, so it really is a tragedy for her. But I feel like this movie could have had a lot of great things to say, but it kind of tackled quite a few different things, but only barely scratched the surface for them. So overall, I think this movie, you know, I'm torn, honestly. Like, I wrote down on my notes right in front of me, 2 out of 5. But more I'm talking about it, I'm like, those performances really were really good. But, you know, would I recommend the movie though? Would I watch it again? Probably not. So, you know what? I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. I'm going to be honest. I think it was just okay. So again, guys, it's a shame. It definitely left me wanting way more from this movie because I thought that this movie definitely had potential. Missed potential. It's a shame to say. But if you guys like this movie, let me know down in the comment section down below. And let me know, guys, did you guys watch Tammy Faye growing up? Like, my grandmother's like, oh, Brandon, you don't know who Tammy Faye is? I'm like, yeah, Nana, I'm not an American. I'm not Christian. I am, you know, fairly young, right? Like, that was before my time. I just didn't know anything about it. So it was cool to learn about it in this movie, but just as a entertainment piece, I feel like you could do better. So again, guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I really do appreciate all the support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.